Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we will continue our discussion on the nature of presence and the nature of awareness. So there are many concepts that was propounded by great Muslim scholars like Al-Imam Ghazali, Ibn Qayyim, Ibn Miskiyah, Ibn Sina, and all the other scholars that has brought up the idea of how we can live in the present and how we have the nature and the understanding of awareness. So this psycho-spiritual idea was done many 100 years ago, 800-900 years ago. We have this very good framework of the nature of being and the nature of awareness. So I'm going to summarize this concept, inshallah, and then we try to understand this concept and apply this concept in our life so that we can see how we can then benefit from this understanding of our great imams and scholars, and how we can then frame our life towards the 4 levels of awareness. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with 4 realms of faculties or domains. So we have our spiritual domain, that is our ruh, we have our S, we have our heart, our heart, we have our akal, or our mind, and we have our physical, jasad. So as we live on this world, this physical aspect of physical existence and motion becomes dominant in our life, because like it or not, life on this earth is based on the physical existence. So when we look at every day that we do, we have motion. Our motion is dependent on input of energy. So we cannot have motion without food. So we need the food, we digest, and from the digestion we have the physical energy for us to do work. So if we live at that level, then we have 3 other levels that we have missed out. For example, we are just living in the physical world only. So the physical world is the world of nafs. Alright, so this physical world of nafs, at this level, we are living at the world of nafsul ammara. That means it's only animalistic pleasure, and animalistic pleasure is just food, sex, sleep, and so on. So we don't have anything beyond the physical, if that is our life. So what is important is for us to be aware that this physical life that we have is temporary. It is an attachment given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to exist on this earth. Nature of existence on this earth, we must have the physical body. And the physical body consists of our molecules and our organs, and this will then enable us to live a life for 100 years or slightly more or less, whichever that Allah has ordained. But if we are living in this world, this physical realm only, that means we are only thinking about food, how to go to the best restaurant, eating the best seafood, then we are living just like any other animals. Just like any other animals, they will choose the best food for themselves. Alright? For example, the lion will choose a gazelle as its food, because that may be the best tasting for the lion. Only in other rare occasions would they find some other animals to eat. But that is our life. With just eating alone, it's just no more than the life of any other animal. And if it's a crude example, the life of a pig. That means they eat like a pig. They just eat and eat and eat and eat. So we must transcend this level. For us, as Muslims, we should not dwell on the physical only. But not neglecting the physical, but we should not dwell. So we have to go to the next level. From the physical, we have to move on to the next level, that is our mind, mental, the thinking faculty. So this is where we start reflecting about our life, reflecting about the nature of biology or chemistry or physics or cosmology or whatever that we think. Because Allah created us as His Khalifa on this earth. He gave us will, and He gave us symbolic language and intellect. So our mind, mental, thinking, intellect here would be the basis in which we move from the physical life to a mental life that we are then able to utilize it for our good, for our existence on this earth, for us to make this world a better world, and so on. Or the other way around, we can use our mind to build nuclear bombs and destroy the whole earth. Or we can use our mind and pump in a lot of CO2 and cause global climate change. Whichever that we do, this is the second level. If this M is not guided, it will always go towards the self-destructive mode. So the physical and the mental, if not guided by Iman, not guided by Islam, not guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will always go downward. That means this is a journey of negativity. This journey of just at the mind and the physical level is what we are living in this 21st century. We are a negative 21st century. We are creating pollution, we are destroying our social fabric, our moral fabric, our everything that we have within the last 200 years is now beginning to collapse. So if we continue in this mode, Wallahu alam, maybe in 100 years, humanity would not have existed on this earth. So what shall we do then? What is the solution? As Muslims, we go to the next level. That is our heart level, emotion, feelings, heart sense. This is where we have empathy, sympathy, which is very important. We not only live because we only live for ourselves, but we live because we are a social animal. Allah has created us with husband, wife, children, families, clan, village, country, the world. So today we are living in a small global village. So we must have the sense of sympathy and empathy for all those who are suffering now. 1 billion people are not having dinner every day because they are poor, they only can have 1 meal a day. 1 billion people do not have potable drinking water because they have no water source. But there are so much resources in the world. There are so many billionaires. If they're going to put that many billions instead of just throwing their money into fast cars and huge mansion and private jets and huge yachts, there will be enough, more than enough funds and resources to feed them 1 billion people, to help them out of their poverty and to give them potable drinking water using the technology that we have created, that Allah has given us, using our mind and our thinking and intellectual capability. So this is the level in which you have to bring humanity. Alright? But if we just live with our E, M and P, yes, maybe we have some sort of sense of meaning and purpose, but it's still not enough. What is important for Muslims is we must then transcend to our final destination of being spiritual. That means we are a spiritual being, awareness of our being. Our being is actually spiritual. Our being is not physical because this is a temporary domain. As a tool, as a means for us to live on this earth, but the SEM, the domain of the spiritual, emotional, mental, that is our Ruh, our Akal, they are all together, infused together as one entity at the point when Allah created us, at the realm of Allah, Allah asked us, am I not your Lord? And we said, yes, you are our Lord. So we have the spiritual, the Ruh, min ruhihi, that He gives us. We have the heart, we have the mind, but they are one entity that will live forever and ever and ever. That is our nature of our being. So if we know that being aware at these 4 levels, we would then see how our processes in this life, whether we are living only in the physical realm, or only in the mind or mental realm, or the emotional realm, or the spiritual realm. An integrated life will have all these 4 combined together. So we have all these 4 together working in synergy. That means we have these 4. As long as you live on this earth, these 4 rings will work in synergy for us to become a fully aware human being, knowing our being, our existence, fully aware of these 4 levels and trying to live a balanced life, a physical balance, a mental balance, an emotional balance, a spiritual balance, trying our level best to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us this deen, this knowledge, this capacity, for us to change, for us to, inshallah, to be His sincere servant and His Khalifa on this earth. Because you can only be the Khalifa of Allah on this earth when you are able to function at a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level, or the other way around. You must focus on the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. This is the base of our existence. This is the base of our being. So if we can focus ourselves on the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical level and find a balance, we become the Khalifa of Allah on this earth. Then we manifested all the wonderful things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon us. That is leading a good life, striving to make ourselves good as a Khalifa of Allah, helping others to be good, making the world good, and inshallah we will become a fully aware human being, a being that realizes its purpose and meaning in life, of who we are, why we are on this earth, and where are we going to after our death. Inshallah, see you in the next episode. Thank you.